Welcome back to the show, everybody. So it begins. The fiat monetary system is in trouble, a controlled demolition, if you will. The stage is set for a rising phoenix. Who will it be? What will it be? Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. $969 billion market cap for crypto. Shout out to CoinPeprika. Download that app. Give them a try. Bitcoin right now, 19,200 plus. Ethereum, 1,300 plus. XRP, number 6 spot at 43 cents, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at this. There are uncertain times, and the richest people in the world during uncertain times absolutely put money into fine art, some of the most expensive, beautiful fine art that you could ever imagine investing in. And you can do that, as I can do that now too, through Masterworks, through these commoditized offerings, and they are absolutely registered with the SEC. The price return or percentage returns to these artist similar works is pretty remarkable when you look at this against the against the S&P or the housing market or the U.S. global market or gold itself. This is a remarkable opportunity, but you got to click the link below, see if it's right for you. Nothing's guaranteed in this world, as I know all of you understand, not financial advice, but click that link underneath the video and check out the opportunity for yourself. The past 24 hours, these unknown whales transferred a total of 226 plus million XRP worth $180 million. Now, I tell you, it wasn't me. For anybody who was wondering, we can go ahead and put that rumor to rest. But let's move quickly now. We have a lot to go over, but I want to show you this because the Hinman calendar has been released. It's a very quick clip here. Shout out to Ben Armstrong, BitBoy, and Ellie Tarrant right here from Fox Business. I want you to listen to what's said here. Take a listen.
I think my biggest takeaway from this whole thing, though, is that Hinman's calendar confirms that some of the timeline laid out by the XRP community, crypto law, John Deaton, was correct. And while we don't know what happened or what was said in those meetings, it does show that the SEC was willing to make time for people like Joe Lubin, Consensus, and top people at Ethereum. You know, Joe Lubin goes on record then to say, you know, they're big friends and fans of the SEC, and they provided ample clarity when many others said that they went to the SEC during that time period and did not receive the same clarity. Does it prove anyone broke the law? No, but it does make it look like the SEC had more time for certain projects over others. I think my biggest...
That is really the truth there, ladies and gentlemen, and there's more trouble to go along with it. The fact that Hinman's last day was December 4th, 2020, and that he returned as a private citizen to the SEC while he was heading back to Simpson Thacher, a member of the Ethereum Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, which exclusively promotes Ethereum to influence settlement discussions with Ripple, is criminal, says John Deaton. When are we going to see the investigation? Not one congressman has demanded an investigation. And don't you remember these civil lawsuits that were put in place? One was Zelensky, and this one here, Kofi versus Ripple. Wasn't it convenient that it was filed just before this free speech and free pass was given to Ethereum? And doesn't it really look like that could have been used as some kind of cover to say that, you know what, we need somebody to do a civil lawsuit so that way I've got a reason why I only gave Ethereum a pass, right? Something doesn't appear to be right here, and at the very least, it certainly is appearance of impropriety, and I believe now we have enough to know that there has been impropriety, period. Right. So anybody has any information they can find on that Kofi case that possibly ties Kofi or any lawyers around it back to Consensus, Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, Joseph Lubin, any of the lawyers in that firm, let's all look together, all eyeballs. I think we can find it. I believe yikes is the professional term here. Fast and furious Fed tightening risks slamming the economy into recession. Here's a little FYI. We've already been in a recession. They just tried to redefine it. Don't believe it. It's still true. Then they go on to say, with economists worrying it's committing another error after being slow to respond to rampant inflation. Oh, do we got trouble coming? And it's around the world, ladies and gentlemen. Michael A. Gade right here says below at the top 20 largest peak to trough drawdowns from the S&P going back to 1961. Never in history in an extreme drawdown for stocks have treasuries, the risk office assets gone down more than the stocks. The gray is the stocks. The treasuries are the purple. Wake the you know what up here. Big drawdown back here. 68 to 70. Another good sized drawdown, 73, 74. 87, we had a drawdown here. Boy, look at this. 02, 07, 09. Boy, did we see it there. But the treasury bonds were still up and strong, though, right? They were strong while stock drawdowns happened during that crisis. But this time, we see the treasuries drawing down harder than the stocks. Never in history, as Michael says here. I tell you, and I've said this many times, it is not real estate swaps that will be the problem in the crisis this time around. It's the money. And the bond market is the backbone of any monetary system. The Bank of England has fallen, breaking news, and it says it right in here. I'm not going to play the clip because you get the gist of it. And yes, this is huge, says XRP Bab. Shout out to Doc Callum. Oh, yes, it is. She's dead on the money. This is not good. And we know that there's a huge melt up happening with the dollar right now. Listen to this very quick clip right here that sums it up.
Starting late Friday, September 23rd, the British pound went down historically into the weekend of September 24, 25. This drop starts the collapse of the fiat, debt-based money system that we know. All countries will soon begin to sell their U.S. treasuries to defend their own currency, which will result in a collapse of the U.S. dollar.
Now, you think about that, because that's exactly what we're seeing right now. The other countries' dollars are being stressed and broken in the way that the U.S. dollar keeps going stronger and stronger and higher, causing all this stress. This is the Triffin dilemma. When a national currency serves as a global reserve currency and the pressure it puts on the rest of the world, and soon, I believe, that pressure will be turned back onto the U.S. dollar. You think that the federal government doesn't know it? Linda P. Jones, shout out to you, says the Bank of England quantitative easing is not temporary, was planned, will destroy the purchasing power of fiat currency, will also happen in other major currencies, will provide an excuse for a monetary reset. Problem, reaction, solution. See it? I damn sure do. And shout out to Linda. A reminder, Nixon told us in 1971 that taking the U.S. dollar off the gold standard was temporary. And he sure did. That's exactly what he said. What does this have to do with where we are in crypto? Well, I'll tell you what I think it has to do with Ripple and XRP, and I'm speculating. But I don't believe for a second that XRP was designed to introduce to the world when it's 80 degrees and sunny. I believe it is absolutely a bridge currency to what they understood was a huge collapse coming to the fiat dollar system, which is not backed by anything. 99% of XRP trading has nothing to do with Ripple, the company. So when you talk about XRP as a security of what company? Who is the owner? I think it's very clear there is no investment contract. So do I. But it's the SEC we got to worry about. Shout out to Michael Branch. Give him a follow. I'm going to move quickly now. In the summary judgment, we find out that there's no factual dispute on this issue. Expert analysis of more than 1,700 contracts under which Ripple sold and made purchases with, otherwise transferred XRP from 2013 to 2020. I'd say business was doing all right, right? You get down here in the different kind of contracts that are described. It talks about, sales contracts, programmatic contracts. It says third-party market makers sell digital assets changes behalf. And it says service contracts pursuant which Ripple pay companies or individuals. It says here, other miscellaneous contracts, none involving post-sale obligations. That's important. That's important. Master hosted services agreements, loans and promissory notes. Really? Oh, that's interesting. Custody agreements. Let's take it this way. All right. Arm's length contracts, 1,700 were analyzed. That just simply means two or more unrelated, unaffiliated parties agree to business acting independently in their own self-interest. Got it. Just like a home buyer and a home seller, right? No big deal. What about master service agreements? It's a contract between two or more parties that establishes terms and conditions that will govern all current and future activities. Goes on in this description to say, parties, their relative rights, responsibilities, contracts are defined by Black Law's Dictionary, an agreement with parties creating obligations that are enforceable. Finally, a master services agreement is defined as one legal document that consolidates separate but related agreements between the parties. It also spells out confidentiality. The parties both agree they won't share any secrets of the company without outside parties, delivery requirements, options contracts. Businesses decide who will deliver what and when, dispute resolution should issues come up. MSA outlines how parties will resolve their conflicts. And then we get into the portion of this that said loans and promissory notes. Really? Because you know what's interesting about that? That's what the Reeves test deals with. Uh-oh. I bet there's some Twitter trolls that just don't like me talking about this. But they're referencing it. It's in the summary judgment. You know why they're not talking about steak dinners in the summary judgment? Because it's not applicable. But this is. Sold uncollateralized and unassured promissory notes is one of the issues taken forth with the Reeves versus Ernst & Young, right? That's what we're talking about, looking at here, ladies and gentlemen, and obviously custody agreements. I think that's, pretty self-explanatory what's going on there. How many of these 1,700 arm's length contracts really actually are underneath of master hosted service agreements? And these promissory notes, did they involve any XRP at all? And how about the custody agreements? What are we custodying, right? Look, I think when it comes to the SEC, what their argument clearly is that they want XRP to be a security. And when you hear people say XRP is not for us, not to speak for others, but I believe it's really highlighting exactly what the SEC is looking to achieve with this case, which is to have more control over it and whether we have less control in how we get it. Don't believe that. I think that's still true. Yesterday, great thread here with Fred Rispoli, Tim Howard, and others. Shout out to Tipsy, Tiger. Just an incredible thread here. I really got a lot from it, and we shared a lot of information back and forth. Fred Rispoli had commented he was less inclined to buy into the pre-allocation theories based on Ripple's asserting that it still owned all of the 50.2 billion XRP. I reminded him, as others had said in here too, that options contracts, the amount of XRP stays in the hand of the holder until that is exercised and someone takes that asset off the books. So if options contracts have happened to a great degree with significant parties that can bring liquidity and utility to the network, and they have not exercised that right to take those assets, then it would still show in Ripple's escrow. I shared this quick clip right here with Fred because he wanted to see this clip. I'm just going to play it really quickly for anybody who didn't see it yesterday.
Correct. That quite funny. One of the big questions that I was asked when I was talking to people about XRP, they said, what price do you sell XRP to the financial institutions that you're dealing with here? Do you give them a discount, and is there a lockup? Can you answer those questions? Because this kept coming up.
Yeah, and I wish we could ask it today, but we're retail investors, so we're never going to get the answer. But, you know, and were there any promissory notes done with XRP being involved? Because I think that would start to smell real good to the SEC for the Reeves test.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, let's use MoneyGram as the example. When MoneyGram is moving money from US dollar to Mexican peso, they're buying at market. They're not, there's no, special sweetheart deal there. There are times when we work with institutional investors who might say, hey, we want to buy $10 million of XRP, and we would have lockups that would prevent them from dumping. We don't want some other party buying a whole lot of XRP and dumping it on the market. And so we would hypothetically have restrictions about what they could sell and what, how often. And usually those are based upon volume in the market.
Yeah, so you might give them it slightly cheaper, but you say to them, hey, you're not allowed to sell it for 6 months, let's say, or a year.
Yeah, correct. That's
confirmation. And then here we have Fred seeing that clip and then responds back. Remember when Julia Chatterley appeared like she was going to actually cover the SEC versus Ripple corruption scandal? Also, I will withdraw my anti-pre-allocation comment. I'm splitting too fine a hair between options and pre-allocation contracts. Further talking to him, there must be some kind of legal definition to him that is slightly different between the two, which I'm not aware of. He's got more knowledge in that area than I do. I'm just saying pre-allocated XRP shows up in the form of options contracts. They could be direct too, but in some cases, but I do believe that we've got all the confirmation we need in that particular department. So really great back and forth from him on that. This is the clip that I'd shared with him. I think we went over that. So, okay, let's keep moving. We got a lot here. I hope my page does not go away. Please do not go away, page. And one more final thought here from Fred Rispoli here. It says, and yes, I think there are many, many XRP options contracts around the world involving Ripple. And I think the motion of summary judgment proved that with all the references to various types of contractual agreements, let alone the fact that they kept saying they're locked up, there was lockup periods, there's this, that, and the other. Completely agree with Fred on that. And it'll be interesting to see what we learn October 24th with the public filing of even more information on summary judgment. So with that, I bring you to why I believe it's so important to understand that it is the SEC, I believe, that is trying to go after this obvious security designation. Who does it harm? Us. That's why they want it. It isn't a security where it's right and title to Ripple. That is a hoax of a narrative, ladies and gentlemen, and of anyone who projects it. The argument here to me is simply this. They're arguing at the SEC that you own a bond or a promissory note of the XRP ledger. Remember when that turned into a nonprofit out of the thin air? It was to further put 3 degrees of separation between Ripple and the XRP ledger protocol. And I believe the SEC is working very hard to say this. So while XRP may not be a security per se, and these are Jim Filan's thoughts on interpreting the summary judgment motion from SEC. There's no other possible way to offer or sell XRP except as a security. They're basically saying, okay, it might not be a security, but we can't keep letting the little guy have it this way. That's what I'm getting out of that. And at the end of the day, we understand the pound is in trouble. We know that China's in trouble. We see dollar issues going on all over the place. The euro is down, representing multiple nations. What, 19 plus nations there? At some point, just like the gentleman in the clip that I played for you, at some point, you're going to see the other countries sell the U.S. Treasury bonds that they hold in order to try to save their own currency. And that's when the melt up of the U.S. dollar, I believe, begins to melt down. And it'll be a moment like that that I believe XRP was absolutely designed for.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening.
It's exactly what's happening. Now, I want to ask this question one more time again today because I asked it yesterday. Think about the IMF, the World Economic Forum, FedNow, Digital Euro Association, Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, the United Nations, all ties to Ripple. Ask yourself this question. Do you believe, because we know for a fact R3 and Greg Kidd had option contracts on XRP, do you believe all those other entities that have ties to Ripple and certainly major impacts on the global economy were not smart enough as R3 or Greg Kidd to secure some kind of contract for a pre-allocated position on XRP for themselves? This is not financial advice from me or anyone else. I'll catch you on the next one.